Good morning. Welcome to the Wardrobe Construction Seminar. Section 3, we made it. Class 1. There's only going to be one class in this section. You also don't have any required reading. Well, you do. All of the work you already did is your required reading, and you will be doing more journaling. Where are we today? We're in your why. Why did you pay for this class? Why have you done all this work? There's a reason. And that reason is where you want to go. Where are you going in life? Now, this can be a life stage change, like you're aging, your body's changed, you've accepted that, you're moving into a new era in your life. It could be, I really want that promotion at work, or I really want to meet someone special. It could be any one of those things. It could be something else. But you have a why. So your first homework is going to be journaling that why. Where do you want to take this? Now, we have 3 basic sections of our life. So you can have up to 3 whys, or 3 places that you'd like to change. Somewhere between 1 and 3. If we get more than that, you're not going to accomplish anything. Even 3 is rough. So, your professional self. Do you have professional whys? Do you have a professional goal? Is there something that you are dressing for there? This is a yes or no. So that's your work. Your work can be, your work as a homemaker. It could be your work as an entrepreneur. Your work as a creator. Work. Okay? Second possibility is your personal life. This is, I want to make more friends. I want to make a special friend. I want to connect with a new circle at church, or I've moved to a new town, something in there. So personal life. Third one is internal life. So this is where you're like, I want to be me more loudly. I also want to come home and represent myself to myself more correctly. I need to support myself in the things I'm doing on the outside with some inner beauty, with some inner change. So those are 3 possibilities. You do not have to do all 3. I actually kind of encourage you not to do all 3, but you're definitely not doing more than that. So where are you going? You can pick 1, 2, 3 different places that you're going. Figure that out. Well, that's what this chapter of the seminar is going to be about, is where are you going and how is your wardrobe going to support you and help change your life? How are those colors, how's that color work, that color psychology going to change your life? How are the shapes and lines, etc., how's it going to change your life? How are we going to use what we have learned and start crafting our future? That was why you started this whole thing. Today, we get to work. All right, let us all start where we really are. And this is what I hear from every single person. And then I wrote this while I had a cold, and I realized I was dressed like every other person I know, only I wore color because I don't wear a lot of black. You're wearing a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, and shorts or leggings, and socks, or no socks at all. You are wearing your comfy, cozy clothes, and I would like you just to think of that as the base state of reality. When you are resisting the feeling of, I just don't feel comfortable in this, I want you to just examine, would you feel comfortable if you were wearing a sweatshirt and leggings? Yes? Okay. Well, we're going to push against that. Yes, we've all gotten really used to that sort of amorphous state of cozy clothing. If you go to Target, if you go to the grocery store, if you go, to kid pickup, if you go anywhere where you're going to see people who are not dressed professionally, anywhere that you see people who are not dressed for work or for church, they're all wearing some version of that. All of them, or every woman you see, is wearing some version of that comfy cozy. And it's invisible. So that's psychologically comfy. So it's physically comfy, it's psychologically comfy. It's just this base state. And I need you to know that as we are moving towards a goal, we are going to move away from that. You can save your base state for in your home. And if you're going to move up your home, you're going to be looking at that. But I want you to just understand psychologically right now, you cannot get where you are going and remain here. Those are incompatible goals. You choose. Do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to go where you're going? If you want to go, you must change. All right. And so that's your first thought. Second thought. So one of the things that we are going to be looking at is we're not trying to dress somebody we're not. So we've talked about, like last time, we're like, well, we don't want to wear a costume, and we don't want to wear a costume, but we are kind of costuming for play, if you will, because we're going to start out with the actress that we've picked. That is that's your raw materials. That's who you are. So that's the body you have, the personality, the soul that's inside of it. Now we want to take that person and dress her for a new environment. If you cast Angelina Jolie and Reese Witherspoon for exactly the same character, you would not put them in the same clothes. Their coloring is different, their builds are different, their personalities are different. You just wouldn't. So that's why this isn't a costume, because this isn't something prefab. You are not dressing as Wonder Woman. There are no, like blue stripes, no big stars. That's not happening. But yet you are dressing to communicate with the world outside about the woman inside and her goals. So last time we talked about who you are on the inside, and then today we're adding on and what she wants from you. Because that's what clothes are. Clothes are one of the ways that we non-verbally communicate with the people around us. If we were, in fact, all staying home with our dogs all day long, we could wear our comfy clothies. We could wear nothing. Doesn't matter. Dog doesn't care. We don't care. Well, actually we do, and you can psych yourself out, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the dog doesn't care. If you never had to see anybody, it wouldn't matter what you wore. But we are communicating. We're communicating a message. And that message is how I want you to treat me. How you can expect me to treat you. And we do that with this nonverbal language of clothes. Again, I know there's a lot of pushback to that. Oh, you shouldn't judge people. We do. We're mammals. Just get over it. People judge with clothes. It's a thing. And it's a subconscious thing. So it's not even a thing you can really control. Like, you will have that instant picture of somebody, especially if they're a stranger, and then that picture might change because you decided to deliberately control what you thought about them. You can say, oh, I'm not judging people. Oh, you can do some deliberate things, but your subconscious is instantly going to say, this is the signal for this is the signal for that. And today is where we start thinking about what we want the world to give us. All right, so I'm going to hit 3 possibilities that you might want. I want you to explore what you do want, so you definitely sit down with your journals and get detailed about really who you want to be in this next part of your life, what you really want the world to start treating you like. It's going to be very, very important. Actually, as I'm doing this, I'm thinking I'm making some changes in my own, and that's like from the last couple of weeks. This is an ongoing work. All right, so if you want more interaction, your clothes must move. Full stop. Your clothes must move. They must create an impression of openness. It's exactly the same thought process is as the body language. Like if you cross your arms and you tighten up and you sit like this, then you're telling the world, don't talk to me. Okay, great. So there are clothes that do that. So you have it very, solid across the hems, solid, where we talked about the energies, like you are so hardcore earth, even like moving into metal, maybe, right? That there's just no room for anybody to come in and be, there's no softness that somebody can be invited into your life with, then your walls are up. That's what you're telling me. Your clothes will tell me that your walls are up. So, on the other side, if you want to invite interaction, what would you do? You would wear brighter colors. You would wear clothes that move. Because, again, we're mammals, and so we're going to just pick up motion with our eyes. So that's going to get people's eyes on you, right? Just the motion of the fluidity is going to get some eyes on you. And then if you have that openness in line, and then also brighter color, just to, again, attract the eye, attract that initial glance. Just hold that glance for just a few more seconds. So think about the brighter colors in your palette. Think about maybe if you're looking for romance, think about, your romantic colors, reds. If you want to be more playful, you like maybe some yellows or some violets. It doesn't matter. But if you want, those are the things you need to do to attract interaction, whether that's romantic, whether that's friends. If you want to be seen and then have somebody come over and talk to you, so see me, come to me. Got it? Brighter colors, more fluidity. Now, if you want to communicate, I have the power, I have the wealth, I am the authority. That's when you want those heavier fabrics. That's when you want more rich fabrics. That's when you want those little subtle bits of wealth and status. I have some pictures here. I have a hilarious picture of this pink suit, because everybody thinks, oh, it's a pink suit, so that's perfect for being feminine. But it's like crossed here, and it's like silver, and and so this tiny little person, and it just looks, but it looks like Fort Knox. And then if you think, okay, but if that was being worn to ladies who lunch, that woman would be absolutely saying, I'm queen bee. This is my place. This is my power, and I'm speaking this out. And so think about that. What do you want to speak? If you want to have authority, if you want to be the person that is relied on, if you want to be if the buck stops with you, well, lots of earth vibes, and lots of texture where you're just saying, yes, look at me. Yes, I'm here. I have it. But I am so solid. And no, you're not wavering me. You are not changing me. I'm here. Let's be clear. I'm here. And so if you're going for a status change, or you're moving up, or if you want more authority, or to be taken more seriously, those are all things that you might consider. All right, third one. And this is going to be if you're trying to sell things, because there's so many venues in which you might sell. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a salesperson, maybe you have to do marketing, etc. So what are you doing with that? So first, you are inviting. Well, no, you want conversation, but you're not inviting people to come to you. You are going to go to them, and you're going to be the expert, right? So you are leaning forwards. You're the one that's going to talk, because you want them to listen to you. So you want a lot of fire. So you want bright colors, but you want a little darker colors. And so you want some edge. So you want to balance this interesting. So you definitely want to be interesting. So it's maybe some air, definitely fire. you don't want to be overpowering. You don't want, you don't want walls up because you want people to, you do want the interaction. So you don't want walls. You want to be listened to. You want to be an authority, but you want to be an authority that is going to people. Again, this is a lot of red. This is a lot of those base colors. This is going to be sharper looks. So this is Blazer City. And this is not where you are wearing your cardigan. If you want to be the authority figure, cardigans are not for authority figures. A cardigan is when you have established your place with the group. I mean, I love a cardigan, but it's just not what they're for. This is take me seriously, but also I'm coming to talk to you kind of vibe. Think about that. So, that could be also, I'm coming to you to present my exciting new, technique for hiking. Well, I'm wearing my hiking boots and maybe I've got a, orange windbreaker with, a really, really nifty hiking pole with a lot of interest in it, right? So we don't only have to think corporate world here, but you want to create that interest. Now, if you're wearing exactly the same thing as everybody in that hiking group, they're less likely to understand what you are trying to get from the interaction when you show up. So those are 3 possibilities, and I want you to make use of the links I've provided here. So I've linked up a huge amount of color psychology. I want you to use that. I also just want you to kind of dig in. What do you want from your interactions? These can be your interactions with yourself too. Like when you're supporting yourself, like I'll give you an example. I realized recently that while my professional clothes were great, my home clothes are kind of, and that's because, of a whole long thing of, where you spend money and like history. You have to know that, but you aren't interested in that. I'm not even really interested in that except to acknowledge it and go past it. I'm like, but my home wardrobe is not supporting me in taking myself seriously. My home wardrobe, in fact, is sabotaging my taking myself seriously. So I'm contemplating that. So when we're talking about these interactions, this can be the interaction with the mirror. You catch sight of yourself constantly, and how you see yourself literally becomes how you see yourself metaphorically. So you have some journaling to do with this, and on we go. All right, and I said that there wasn't going to be a lot of reading this time. There's also not going to be a ton of speaking this time. I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about another subject here in just a second. But your big homework for Section 3 is to design a dream wardrobe. Your absolute dream wardrobe, based on your colors, based on your body, and based on where you want to go. So you will have had to journal about where you really want to go. You will have to had to journal. What do you want people to think when they see you? How do you want them to interact with you? What do you want from the world? That's going to take you a second. Sit with it. Don't just go over the top of your head. Let your gut inform you about what you want. So you're going to sit with that. You're going to spend some time. You're going to make a pin board, probably. Not necessarily, but probably. And you're going to just dream wardrobe this out. But before I leave you there, I want you to think about the practicalities too. Because dream wardrobe can become a little weird if you don't attach that dream wardrobe to reality. Okay, quick example. If you have an executive job, like every book has the same advice, every style book that has a wardrobe in it has a capsule wardrobe for that professional position with, like you're required to wear suits and dresses. They all have them. Every single one has a capsule wardrobe recipe for that. And if you think about, okay, well, that's your life if you have a fairly classic style, because classic clothing is very, very invisible and can be worn over and over again. If you think about a minimalistic black suit, a skirt, pants, blazer, you can wear that all week and nobody is going to really sink in that you're wearing the same clothes because it's just kind of intrinsically basic. Also, you don't get dirty in a desk job. So, every month you take a piece to the dry cleaner and have them refreshed. So that's why that starts out with that tiny capsule wardrobe, right? Okay, good. But what if you're a mom to infants or through toddlers? You know what? You're getting dirty. You need a lot more clothes, just clothes full stop, than that office dweller, even for a capsule wardrobe, because you're constantly getting filthy and you must throw things in the washer. Your clothes cost less because they all have to be washable. Because what you're actually doing all day is, spit up on, cleaning up messes, going to the park, etc., etc., etc. So, completely different amount of clothes in your wardrobe, completely different wardrobe. Now, I would suggest, even in your dream wardrobe, that anybody with any profession needs at least one blazer. I know even if you just throw it in the back, there's always going to be those meetings when you need to be taken seriously, interviews, etc. You want a blazer or blazer-like object, not a cardigan, blazer-like object, something with a little edge to it, with edges, not edge, to it, something a little sharp to sharpen your look, make you be taken more seriously. Everybody needs something like that who is working professionally. If you work in any profession where you get dirty a lot, all right, so, or any really profession, the more time you spend doing something, the better your clothes for that should be. If you work to paint homes, you should have a professional painting wardrobe. Yes, it's probably multicolored from all those paint splatters, but that's your professional painting wardrobe. And it might be multicolored, but it's in good repair. Now me, I paint the house, paint a room in the house once every 5 years. I can use my grungiest shorts and t-shirt that I leave in the bottom of the back of my closet to especially be used when I'm painting or going to get filthy. But that's not my job. So let's take your job and dress for your job. But again, this is your dream wardrobe. So if you're that painter, I would really love to have, my coverall in XYZ colors that represent my company. I would really love, okay, so I don't care about my coverall, but my social life is ABC, and I just really want to dress for that. And I would love to have, a whole bunch of dresses so I could feel really, really pretty after a day, rolling walls. Just bring that out. It's not going to look the same. I don't want you to write a dream wardrobe for, Sex in the City if you don't live a Sex in the City life. You got to write the dream wardrobe for you, okay? Not somebody else. It's a dream wardrobe. I want you to dream in a perfect world. This would be my capsule wardrobe. Even a perfect world, I would have, this many, clothes. But kind of keep that dream on some foundations. Make sense? Okay, good. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to take that Pinterest board. The Pinterest board I've been bugging you about? All right. Again, in an ideal world, we would wait. We would wait for, 6 months, and we'd really let this simmer, but we can't because we need to get on with things. So you're going to bring that Pinterest board out and you're going to analyze it. So what you do is you just pop that sucker up and look at it as a whole piece. And you're going to see that most of your pins have the same feel to them. They have the same aesthetic, whether it's fluid, whether it's straight, whether it's controlled. We've talked a lot about that aesthetic situation, right? And like 90%, 95%, 99% of your pins are going to have one look and feel, whether it's a garden or a dress. It's still going to be cohesive, but you're going to have some pins that just stand out. You look at those pins, you're probably going to delete them. If you feel strongly drawn to them, just move them onto another board. Okay, so get them out of your visual and look at what you've got. So it's all one aesthetic, all one cohesiveness. If this isn't making sense to you, if my words are like, what's she talking about aesthetic? What's she talking about feel? Enlist the aid of that friend of yours that talks like this. And have them, like, what do you see when you see these pictures? What kind of common message are you getting? Now, that's going to tell you so much about yourself. And this is quick story time. When I did this, I had gone through session 1 and session 2, but I hadn't done my Pinterest analysis, right? And I looked at my body and I said, this was when I was a younger woman, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm busty and I'm heavy and I have a very feminine face and I'm primarily a homemaker, and I really, really need a lot of waist definition to look like I have a figure at all. So, well, that's the 50s, right? And you're probably tracking with me right now. Oh yeah, that's the 50s. Well, the thing is, I don't like polka dots. I don't like bright pastels coordinated together. I don't like really, really hard shapes. I don't actually like the 50s aesthetic. I like wide skirts. So when I pulled up my pin board that I'd done, when I just set my own ideas aside, like I told you to, and looked at it, it was like so fluid. What had I pinned and pinned and pinned was Art Nouveau, which is just, again, which is fluid. It is extremely feminine. It has long, full skirts, but they are not shaped the way a skirt from the 1950s would be. And I'm like, oh, and my heart just leapt in my chest. And I'm like, well, how do I do that? And then I figured out how to do that with my body type, with the needs that I have. And I was so much happier. And I just started really looking like myself. So how do you pull that out? That's the thing. So we've talked about this. We've talked about how to represent yourself. And this is where you're going. But this is that final bit of homework where you're going to look at, well, what is my aesthetic? What is all this Pinterest homework telling me about me? Okay, so those are your 2 big homeworks. That's what you're going to be doing most of the session. Again, let's journal. Let's do some exploration. You need to be going through style therapy. Hopefully you've already finished it. But this is like where you're going to repeat that. The style blocks are part of this journey. The other things that are part of this journey are definitely going to be, your aesthetic. And then what do you want from the world? What do you want the world to do when they see you? That's the messaging you need to have. You know who you are now. You know what you're working with. Now, let's get the world involved and start speaking its language. And the truth, nothing but the truth. And so help you God. I will see you next time for section 4, which will be the last section. We will be talking extensively about how to clean out that closet, how to take your imaginary wardrobe that you're constructing now and flow it through. We're going to talk about budgeting. We're going to talk about fabric next time we get down to the brass tacks. I hope you're having a wonderful time. Once again, if you are unclear, feel free to email me. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care.